The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the November 20th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject theme, please put radio show question. And, of course, if you're inside the Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, a bit of a mixed bag out there. You got the Dow trading down 99 points. S&P's up 25. You've got the NASDAQ 100 up 159. Russell up 6. And the transport's down 29. Semis up 117. Composite for the NASDAQ up 158. New York Stock Exchange down 7. Gold is up 26 bucks. Silver 98 pennies. Light sweet crude back $1.47. Where do we want to begin? Let's begin with the daily equity future contracts. Let's actually begin with the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Client Oscillator, as well as the spot VIX index. We can see that in the case of the Advanced Client Oscillator, got down towards, but never did get to the exact oversold reading, which was minus 150. We're right now pretty minus 122. That tells us that sellers have a bit of an edge out here. Now, inside the New York Stock Exchange, an interesting pattern here is that we may just have a consolidation. In other words, price got down, tested and rejected the bottom of the October 10th and October 13th swing point out there. And the price can hold those levels. We just have a consolidating pattern out there. The spot VIX index, as long as it remains above the 50-day exponential moving average, the 50-day is at 1836 right now. It also provides sellers with an edge. So we know when we go take a look at those intraday charts, sellers are the ones with the edge. We're looking for intraday topping patterns and so forth. So let's go from here. Where do we want to go? I want to show you one other interesting pattern here. So we talk about the New York Stock Exchange, the potential of a consolidation pattern. The NASDAQ, now I wasn't talking about the NASDAQ, obviously, that was New York Stock Exchange, but the NASDAQ and the DAX, I haven't looked at it for a while, but it usually has a really good correlation. In fact, Obi-Wan was the one that taught that to me out there. And if I have the daily chart out for the DAX up on my screen. And what you'll see is yesterday we had it had a nice gap to the downside, negated its crash right through its B point. But while doing so, it also got to the one-to-one price projection level. Now, I don't know whether we're going to have a bullish reversal candle today or not inside the DAX. Right now, we don't. Earlier, we did. But if we did get a bullish reversal candle, that would kind of add to that consolidating idea that we were just looking at inside the New York Stock Exchange. If we don't get a bullish reversal candle, and until the DAX does, then it's more likely to head lower. We can see that the move off of that C to D leg much stronger than the A to B leg. That suggests headed lower. But if you look at the weekly time frame chart for the DAX, you'll see the consolidation pattern there. So price got to get below that in order for that consolidation pattern to actually fail. That would give us a measured move. That would pull us down further. The price target could even be down at the 20,025 level out there. So watch the DAX at days. I think it closed at 11:30 or 12:30. I think it's 11:30 if I am not mistaken. Okay, let's move off of the DAX and let's go take a look at the daily equity future contracts. So we pull up the daily equity future contracts. We've got a couple A to B equals CD patterns to the downside that are in place. The first one coming from the Russell 2000, very right-hand panel chart out here. Price projection level, this might not be dead on balls accurate, but around 2305. I've got it accurate inside the newsletter out there. This tool doesn't really allow me that pinpoint accuracy. But you do have a new an A to B equals CD pattern, but you also have a new bullish structured profile that is attempting to form. Now, that bullish structured profile has support between 2338 and 2355. It has resistance up at 2421 out there. Bullish structured profiles, when you typically close above the center of it, the center being 2355, price telling you that price wants to make a move to the 24 to the top of its profile, 2421. The Dow does not have that same signal. The Dow is trading below profile support. It has been down for the last 4 trading sessions. I think we looked at it yesterday. We saw a few 5 sessions in a row to the downside. So let's open this up again. Was that? Yeah, it was the DAC. Was the Dow Equity Future Contract, or the last one of significance, which was back on August 1st. That was 5 days to the downside. So if we, this is getting close to at least a couple day bounce, you would think, but its downside target certainly is 45,605. And the NQ triggered an A to B equals CD pattern yesterday to the downside. Its initial price target for that A to B equals CD pattern around 24,128. Now, what got in the way of that is its breakout level. And not until price closes below 24,410 will that A to B equals CD pattern come to fruition. It may never come to fruition. Getting back to a breakout level can be a bottom. Can be a bottom. In this case here, not much else for me to report. Now, we at least traded above yesterday's high. I don't think we've gotten below yesterday's low. But take a look at the ES Mini out here. The ES Mini does not have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. The retracement level, meaning the high out here from November 12th, is about an 82% retracement, doesn't qualify. So what we have out here is, no, price didn't even make it to yesterday's, did it? Just curious. Yesterday's high, 67.0875. Today's high, 67.09. I did buy a tick out there. So, but we haven't made to yesterday's low. Kind of interesting. In any event out here, you really want to close above yesterday's high if there's going to be any kind of concerted rally out there. We have had 4 consecutive days to the downside, so a 2-day rally would make sense. Its downside price target still remains at 65.71. So that's what's going on with the daily equity future contracts. Let's take a peek in on an intraday chart out here. An intraday chart that we'll begin with is the ES Mini. Yesterday when we were with each other, we talked about the 4-hour oscillator and change line, how that was a good level of resistance, and at once price closed above it was sending you a signal. Well, it closed above it. Let's get out here, let this thing populate. It closed above it earlier this morning. I did it at 6 a.m. And now we've got prices trading into its sell zone. It's found some resistance there. The sell zone between 66.82 and 67.16 out there. If price were to close below that red oscillator and change line, that is currently printed at, that's the 4-hour time frame chart, 66.50, that could be signaling to move all the way back to profile support at 66.11. All right, let's see what else we have out here on the ES Mini. We also know, and I believe we also shared yesterday, that 66.8750 was a strong resistance level. That's the 120-minute TD9 count breakdown resistance level. You've got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom on the 5-hour chart. Price running resist at 66.97. So let's call it 66. Let's call it 67.16 for the day. If you close above that, the ES Mini should continue to rally further. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Why don't we put the NQ charts up on the screen here? Give me a moment. We'll get those populated just to take a look at the intraday signals that it is providing for us. So these will be up momentarily. We were looking at the ES Mini before we went to break. Let me give you the key levels of support or resistance to be watching today. Hopefully we can find them out here. But the ES Mini was really giving us the better signals. Now, you can see the 2-hour time frame chart for the NQ has got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, price finding resistance in the sell zone of its profile. So 24,961 is going to be a key level out there. We can go up a bit higher. The 240-minute time frame chart, which has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, is trading above the top of its it's back inside its profile. If it were to close back above 24,842, you could get up to the 25,216 level. You've got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom on the 5-hour time frame chart, price consolidating with inside its profile. So the NQ along that top row really signaling to you and I that it wants to try to rally just a bit more. If you look at the 10-minute time frame chart, we see that a pullback earlier this morning at 9:30, 10 o'clock was nothing more than a 940 was a test of a TD9 count breakout level. Same thing inside the 15-minute time frame chart out here. So the NQ, what are we watching to the downside? That's pretty easy. With all those bottom signals that you see along the top row, the 2-hour, the 4-hour, the 5-hour, it's going to be the low of that session, and that's at 24,376.25. 24,376.25. If you close below that, you are likely headed lower inside of the NQ out there. To the upside of giving you the number there, I'd really say 25,216 would be a key number out there. And 25,047, shoot, that's the bottom of the daily profile. That certainly is going to be resistance. Let's get to, we just have a few requests at this stage here, but let's get to them. Maybe as we get to some more will come in. The first one coming in from Tony wants to take a look at that ticker symbol SANA, Santa, out here without the T. And he's looking for a bottom, and I don't see it. And the reason I don't see it is because yesterday, maybe even 2 days ago, price negated a TD9 count bottom pattern. So that suggests that we should see price pull back to 293. So, Tony, that's the first place that I'd be looking for. The second place I'd be looking for, it turns out it's a higher level, so maybe that's the first place, is going to be the bottom of its bullish structured weekly profile. So that's at 329. If you get a close below 329, you know that price is headed to 293. Again, that's the daily TD9 count breakout level, 329, the bottom of the weekly profile. The monthly says I want to push lower because we are trading below its profile level right now. If we're to close the month, that would be next Friday below profile support. It could be signaling move all the way back to $1.56, but we'll take things one step at a time. And right now, that step is there ain't no bottom that I see in place, at least no bottom pattern. The closest thing you could get to it would be 329, getting back to the buy zone. Then you'd like to see some kind of bottom pattern on the daily time frame, and I don't have that. I don't have an A to B equals CD pattern that we can use. The retracement here, the B to C retracement, if we look at from the TD9 count bottom that did form on November 6th, was less than a 0.386 retracement. So no A to B equals CD patterns there. So SANA, I'd say 329 and below that 293, Tony. Hope that helps you out. You also wanted to take a look at ticker symbol BTQ. So let's pull up the Qs out here, BTs, that is, BTQ. It is trading out as we speak at $6.90. So this is an IPO, or looks to be an IPO, taking us back into September 26th out there. We don't have a lot of data. The monthly chart is useless. The weekly chart is basically useless. And the daily chart is so-so. Here's what I can share with you, and that is support and resistance. So you have a buy zone from a profile standpoint between 567 and 592. You tackled that area yesterday. You closed above that center of that profile, and you went ahead and tried to take out resistance, which is up at 742. So you are consolidating between that level. Whichever side gives is likely the direction that price will head in. If you're looking to take a position in this, since price found resistance at that 742, why don't you wait to see if it pulls back into that buy zone, 567, 592. As I said, not a lot of data out here to gauge, but we do have, not a bottom pattern, but we do have a profile that you can use in bullish instruction. If you close below 567, probably best to get out of that trade should you get into it. And the one that everybody's waiting for out there is NVIDIA. So let's pull NVIDIA up out here. What I really should do, I'm not going to do it. What should you really do, Stevie? I'm not going to do it. If we take a look at NVIDIA, let's just start here by the daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes out there. What I was considering doing, although I don't know that it really is going to matter, was looking at the intraday set of charts out there. And I have to go ahead and set that up. That takes a minute or so. And in any event, here's what we know about NVIDIA. Let's first share what we know with these charts here. And that is the following, that we've got price right now that is consolidating with inside a bullish structured profile. Price got back in that bullish structured zone 3 times now, and that level has held. So, Mr. Bill, the first key level of support for NVIDIA is going to be 180.30. If price trades below that, starts trading below that, and that tells you we've got something else going on. Now, something else we could have going on would be an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. So let's draw that in there. In order for that to form, price must close below the November 7th low out there. This is going to be more about tomorrow, but at least overnight you'll see how things are trading. You can kind of maybe put 2 and 2 together. In this case here, what we're going to put together is the A to B equals CD pattern. So the bottom of that B point is down at 178.91. The volume there is 264 million. Well, that's not going to have too much meaning to you in the overnight hours out there. It could, but not likely. So if we get a close below that 178.91, or we start trading below it, what you should then know is there's an A to B equals CD pattern that could be forming, right? We wouldn't know until tomorrow's close on that. But at least with regard to how this could trade after hours, the 1-to-1 price projection for NVIDIA gets down to around 166.58. Again, I'm not dead on balls accurate with just using the line tool out there. And that would take us into the swing point from September 5th, 2025 out there. And that swing low out here, by the way, just so you have one more data point, 164.07. All right. The weekly time frame chart has a Rhodes momentum indicator top with price trading with inside profile. Price has only been able to explore the center and top of that profile, so pretty strong out there. 179.85 has been support so far. If you close below that, you start trading below that, 167.23 becomes a target. Now, that would obviously coincide with the A to B equals CD pattern to the downside on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame, again, the bottom of that profile, 167.23. So now you know that's an important number, 167.23, the bottom of the weekly. What happens if price were to close below that? We'd be looking at 142.03. The monthly chart The monthly chart on next Friday may form a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Currently, we have a bearish engulfing candle. A price could rally, take out the highs. So what is the, so the key level to the upside we're watching is really the weekly Rhodes momentum indicator top. And that high out there is 212.19. So watch 212.19. If price closes above that, well, we're going to rally. Rally to where? That's the question, right? Well, okay. Let's take a look at the larger A to B equals CD pattern out here. And it is holy shnikes. Because really, you got to go all the way back to its TD. You don't have to, but I'm saying you do. You got to go all the way back to its October 22nd, October 2022 TD9 count bottom that we're taking a look at. We got to go all the way up to the January 2025 high. Now, I'm just simply going to go ahead and take that bar and I'm going to move it over to the low that formed out here back in April, and that 1-to-1 A to B CD price projection would be 227.76. So that's going to be kind of like a potential upside target. But again, you have to watch price start trading above resistance, 212.19. Mr. Bill, did that give you everything you were looking for NVIDIA? If it didn't, tell me, and I'll be happy to try to find that information out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Enphase Energy out here. ENPH is the ticker symbol. This is for Brent in Martinez, California. Brent's looking for a bottom out here. So, Brent, the first bottom signal that we have is that on Friday, we're going to go ahead and confirm a weekly TD9 count bottom pattern. Now, what we know is that that bottom can form either this week or it could form next week, the bar following bar number 9. So since that's a weekly chart, how are we going to know? I would say if it's a weekly TD9 count bottom, and that's going to be the low versus next week, we would see some type of bullish reversal candle on the daily time frame to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. Short of that, price should continue to head lower. Yes, you're absolutely right. Today is bar number 7. The low of the pattern so far was yesterday, bar number 6. We need the low of that pattern in order to get a TD9 count to take place between Thursday and Monday, right? So 7, tomorrow will be 8. Now, yeah, Thursday and Monday out there. So there's that possibility of a bottom signal. I do have a, you see here, Brent, I do have a wave number 7 signal, letter G. So that's part of the Chapman wave tools. That's coming off of the high out here from September 23rd. So you do have that one potential for a bottom, a wave letter C, and it doesn't look like, no, I don't know if we're going to get a lower low today or not out there. So that's what you're looking for, is really a bottom on the daily time frame. Then what that daily bottom should do would be to take us to at least its oscillator and change line. So not much of a rally, but that would take us up towards 28.66 or so. If price can get above that, then you'll be dealing with the sell zone. The sell zone used to be a buy zone, but now it's been converted since price closed below that for more than 2 consecutive sessions. That's the profile level. And a counter trend move, should Enphase Energy rally, where it would run out of steam, would be at 30.60 or between 29.73 and 30.60 out there. Close above 30.60, it tells you that the bottom that was formed on the daily time frame is more than a counter trend move. Now, the monthly is the kind of a wild card out here. You've got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator top, and it just does not have any kind of bottom pattern. So I'm trying to open this chart up so we can go back and take a look at the left-hand side out here. So what are we doing? We're trading below its TD9 count breakout level. We negated a TD9 count bottom pattern out here. I mean, this is just not looking good. So the monthly chart is not going to help us for Enphase Energy out here. It's going to be really about the daily and the weekly. And now I would say, Brent, it's really more about the daily out there. So those are the patterns, either wave number 7 signal, if you want to take that, or maybe you wait for a TD9 count or a bullish reversal candle, which I'd really prefer, with price below profile support on the daily, weekly, and monthly, below red oscillator and change lines on the daily and the monthly out there. So, but that's what we've got for you, Brent. Good to hear from you. Thanks for your request, and we'll look forward to your next one. Duncan Steve inside the Tigers Den wants to take a Palantir. PLTR is a ticker symbol, and it is trading below daily profile support. It does have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. So let's take a look at this here. Pull this back just a tad. We're going to go ahead and draw in the pattern. Whether or not it's been confirmed with volume, that we don't know. We'll go find that out here momentarily. But there's your A to B point. Let's see if I can copy this one fast, paste it, and move it. Yep, there we go. So the A to B equals CD, as we can see, really gets us back just to our breakout level at about 156.37. So let me open up the chart just a tad more. So with price trading below profile support in a oscillator and change line and no other signal out here, you'd have to say 156.37. So in other words, the A to B equals CD pattern doesn't even have to be proved. When I say proved, confirmed with volume out there. Now, the swing point itself was November 7th, and that did have volume of 73 million shares out there. And that 73 million shares were taken out yesterday with 53. Today, so far, 2 hours of trading, 18. So we're at about 50 million share a day out there at this volume. Still light volume. Doesn't matter. Looks like it wants to head lower. That's the daily. The weekly chart for Palantir says, Steve-O, the one thing we got to watch on Friday is 168.80. Why is that? Because that's the bottom of its weekly profile. And remember, you may not remember, but we went back, we took a look at a monthly chart out here for Palantir, and I added all kinds of data. And we went back to try to find when was the last time that price broke through, closed below the bottom of a weekly profile. Now, you can see on this screen here, this only takes us back into the 2023 time period. The answer on this screen is never. It has never closed below the bottom of a weekly profile going back that far. We did find it, okay? But it was a long time ago. So I would say with regard to Palantir that if you close below 168.80, it's telling us something else. What is that something else? This would be week number 3 to the downside, so you could easily get a 4-week move. We did that back in September the 5th out there. But is it telling us something else? I don't know. Look at the monthly time frame chart. The monthly time frame chart, can we find an A to B equals CD pattern out here? Maybe. Let's go see what's that maybe look like. I don't know that it's actually completed it, but what I would do is let's just start with this bottom back here. So that would be our A point, this being January of 2023. That'd be our A point. The B point would have to be the shooting star candle out here. That was back on February 2025. So if we move that over, this is going to be kind of quite a sideways-ish move out here. Do we get to the 1-to-1? Oh, we have. So in the case of the monthly time frame chart for Palantir, if we get, let me see so we can look at the chart. If we get a bearish reversal candle, we are going to see a sell the D point top out there. Now, that sell the D point top, what it ought to do is take price back to its oscillator and change line. So that's 148.70 out there. So in order to get to 148.70, you've got to get below its daily TD9 count breakout level. So let's take this in progression. With regard to Palantir, the first level to watch is really on Friday, 168.80. You close below that, it increases the odds that the daily A to B equals CD pattern, volume or not, price is going to pull back towards its breakout level, 156.37. If price closes below that, the monthly chart will go after its oscillator and change line, and I'll open up the monthly chart, and if the monthly chart closes below that oscillator and change line, seems like that would be one heck of a nice buy area, but it seems like it, then we're definitely headed for lower price, and you could see more like a 2 or 3 month retracement out there. When was the last time we had a 2 or 3 month retracement? It was May of 2024 out there, and that was your 3 month retracement. So that's what I see. We take a Palantir, Duncan. I hope that makes sense to you, and as always, thanks for your request. Oh, you got another request out there. So we got a twofer. That means we're going to go take a look at Ford out here, and if we take a look at Ford, what is it doing? Well, it's trading between support and resistance on the daily time frame. The support on the daily time frame happens to be the top of its profile, which is 1285, which it tested and rejected yesterday. The resistance level is going to be its oscillator and change line, 1331. I would say if you can close above yesterday's high is 1309. Odds would favor Steve-O and move up to that daily oscillator and change line at 1330 or so. The reason why, in addition to closing above the top of yesterday's high, just to give a little bit of momentum out there, we can see that the pullback yesterday was to the. Now, Ford does not have a weekly topping pattern. It has a daily TD9 count top, but does not have a weekly topping pattern, nor does it have a monthly topping pattern. However, the qualification there is you get back to its sell zone or the top of its profile. That can be where, that can be a sell, if you will, at 1350. But right now, it looks like more like to me that Ford is more bullish than it is bearish, except that daily time frame. You got to negate that TD9 count top, but you should see a rally up towards 1330. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. I was going to try to fire up the weekly time frame charts. I realize it's just hump day. It's just Wednesday, but just try to get maybe a better sense and feel for what the markets are trying to communicate to us. By the way, I don't have any other requests at this moment in time. I check my phone, nothing by email. And if I overlook something, then would you please go ahead and type that back in, because I overlooked it and I can't find it if there was anything that's in there. So when we look at these charts out here, first, if we look at the Dow, this could be only week number 1 to the downside for the Dow out here. Same thing for the S&P. Week number 1 to the downside for the S&P 500. This could be week number 3 to the downside for the NDX. Now, you take a look at the Dow, the S&P, the NDX, the Russell up top. All of them are trading below those green oscillator and change lines. So they've definitely lost their momentum. They've lost their momentum out here. And we know that we can easily get in bull markets 2 to 4 week pullbacks out there. The Russell is on week number 4 right now. So we'll just kind of keep that in mind. But we're only embarked, the Dow and the S&P have just gotten started, if in fact they've gotten started out there. Now, on the weekly time frame chart for the S&P, I don't have a top. I don't have a topping pattern on the Dow. I don't have one on the NDX 100. Although maybe I'd have to go back and look at the weekly charts to try to identify the A to B equals CD pattern. So we'll just not worry about that so much. The SOX is trading below its oscillator and change line. When was the last time that it traded below the oscillator and change line? We've got to go all the way back to April 25th of 2025 out there. So there's definitely some character change. Is this only a 2 to 4 week pullback? Is it more than that? So I don't know the answer to that question. That's what you and I am asking that question. If you do know the answer to that question, you're welcome to go ahead and give me the answer. Here's the S&P 500. So this is kind of an interesting chart for us to take a look at. This is the seasonal pattern for 25 years. And the seasonal pattern for 25 years shows that a bottom comes in around October the 9th out there. There's also a big bottom that comes in on April the October the let's just stick here on October the 9th, which we know has been most of those lows have held out there. But we know that the market certainly did bottom there. Take a look at where we're at right now. You should see that typically in the so-called Santa Claus rally phase over the last 25 years, that starts right around October the 9th. Then we rally up. We typically form some type of top right around November 7th. We're not that far away from that. We just kind of consolidate here, a little choppy market. Well, we've been doing the choppy market thing. And then we typically form a bottom November 20th. November 20th, November 21st out there. And so there's a possibility that that next bottom is in. It's not coming from the weekly charts, that's for sure. The weekly charts are suggesting that they want to press lower out there. But on the daily time frame charts, let's take a look at the reason why like anything is possible. But the reason why there's a potential for that bottom would be with the daily NQ's TD9 count Rhodes momentum indicator top getting back and holding that breakout level of support at 24,410. So I would say unless we get a close below 24,410 out there, maybe we're getting ready for a rally. Really. Now what we're going to, if we are, okay, we've got to start seeing price close above the prior day's highs out there. Okay, the most simplest of all technical tools out there. Are we on a downtrend? Do we close above a prior day's high out there? And if you take a look at the Dow, since it formed its top out here on November 13th, the answer is no, not even close, right? So it'd be hard pressed to say that the Dow's made a bottom. If you take a look at the NQ out here, I'll just simply open up the screen here. Let's open this up. Let's I think if I open this up like this, we can see. So if you start from its top out here, we come from the high of October 30th. Did that high get taken out the next day? No. Did that high get taken out? No. Where's a high that gets taken out? Not until we get to a one-day rally. That one-day rally on November the 10th out there. And then what do we see? We do not see any other close above a prior day's high out there. So you'd have to take a look at the NQ and say, okay, Stevie, even though you have gotten back to a potential level of support where you could find a bottom at 24,410, the NQ is definitely not proving itself to you, right? A one-day wonder out there. So not until we start seeing consecutive close above prior days out there can we really consider the seasonal pattern that says that the next leg of that Santa Claus rally is likely to start. If you look at the S&P 500 out here, or the ES Mini, I should say, if we take a look at it, here you can see from its high that formed back here on October 30th. When did we ever take out a prior day's high? We've done it twice. We did it on November the 10th, and we did it on that following day out there. We closed above the prior day's close that next day, but not taking out that high. And then ever since then, what are we doing? The same thing. We are trading lower out there. So not until we start taking out those highs. You can look at that through any of the cash indices out there as well. So let's do this. Instead of me blibbering and blabbering out there, was that a request? I think the request was to stop blibbering and blabbering. Let's go do this here. I'm going to go back to the main screen. I'm going to go back, because we're talking about the NASDAQ, let's take a look at the top 8 holdings inside there. So Microsoft, number 2. We'll try to get there. So we've already taken a look at NVIDIA. We've taken care of that. So what's the Microsoft patterns? And here we're going to take a look at daily, weekly, and monthly ELO. I'll get to that after this break. Got about 2 minutes out here, but let me just see if we get. So we got a TD9 count. Nope. Microsoft, come on. Oh, Microsoft's at a new high today. Is that true? No. Sorry, folks, I just got to let this populate. I don't know why it's taken so long. It shouldn't have taken so long. No, okay. So on Microsoft, we look at the weekly time frame. We look at the weekly time frames for the indices out here. In the case of Microsoft, it's testing its buy zone support level, 489.10, 505.69. So watch that 489 level. Microsoft closed below that on a weekly basis. We're likely headed lower. If you look at the headed lower to where? Well, the monthly chart, I should say, has a Rhodes momentum indicator top with price trading inside its bullish structured profile. So its buy zone is between 471.19 and 492.25. If we close below the weekly profile, we're likely headed into that area, closer towards 471. The daily time frame chart for Microsoft, what do we have out here? We have a B point being taken out. Let me see if this is looks like at least maybe a 0.382 retracement. What was that function? I tried to memorize it. Don't know if I did. Let's find out. Oh, we did. Okay. Nah, not even a 0.382 retracement out there. Shoot. Okay. But what we do know is that Microsoft is trading below profile support out there, trading below its oscillator and change line. And that says the weekly chart is the one that kind of kicks in. The weekly chart says what? We're testing profile support, that if we close below, we're likely to head lower out there. So Microsoft not signaling to you and I that it's ready to bounce. Let's take a look at Apple, although I don't know if these charts will populate here before we go to the break, but we'll give that a shot. When we come back from the break, we do have a request to take a look at CRWV, and we will do that when we get back. And it doesn't look like these charts here are going to populate before we go. Although Apple right now is trying to hold on to profile support at 268.76, the weekly trading with inside its profile. It's not Apple that's going to take the market down, or doesn't appear to be Apple that would take the market down. The monthly chart is going to negate a TD9 count top. Apple looks pretty darn strong. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back folks, we're looking at ticker symbol CRWV. It has a confirmed weekly A to B equals CD pattern to the downside that was confirmed last week. Volume last week, 257 million shares, taking out 192 million shares. The one-to-one price projection would get you down towards the $50 level. Below that, you've got support at 33.52. Monthly chart not going to assist us at all. And on the daily, we are trading below profile support and screen oscillator and change line. We've negated TD9 count patterns out there. It looks like this wants to head towards that $50 level out there. So hope that helps you out. ELO. John was asking about the ES Mini out here. John, I'll put up the ES Mini charts. I think I'm going to try to. Where did I put those? I'm going to go right to the S&P 500. I know where I just stuck those charts out here. And really, I think you're asking, is there any kind of, do we see any kind of major top or anything along those lines? So on the daily time frame chart, we've got a TD9 count topping pattern out there. Rhodes momentum indicator top as well. On the weekly time frame, in order to get a sell the D point top, we need a bearish reversal candle. We don't have one. So even though I can find an A to B equals CD on the S&P cash index, if we could probably go back to 2009, same thing for the monthly time frame, we need a bearish reversal candle. We do not have that on the weekly time frame. So I cannot call that a top out there. The monthly time frame chart, likely we go back to 2009, we'll find the A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. And if we get a bearish engulfing candle this month, then that would have a top. We'd have two of the three. You need all three. All three, daily, weekly, and monthly charts must have topping patterns in order to have the potential for a bear market. In other words, I've gone back, studied the Dow, every single decline of 20% or more considered to be a bear market. That's what I used out there. And every time we saw that, we had a daily, weekly, and monthly topping pattern out there. So it makes it kind of easy. And it makes it a lot easier for us to do this than the other folks that are on TV calling for bubbles and stuff. Bubbles, every bubble, the Nikkei, gold bubbles, they all do the same thing. They have topping patterns out there, daily, weekly, and monthly. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. I'll be back with you tomorrow on Terrific Thursday. In the meantime, you please have a wonderful Wednesday and be safe out there. Take care.